In 2012, Huzoor attended the Canada Jalsa, and whilst he was there, Huzoor's residence was across the road from the mosque, around 300 or 400 meters from the mosque. So Huzoor's routine would be that he would walk from his residence to the mosque for prayers, for salat. And in anticipation of this, hundreds of Ahmadis used to line the streets whenever Huzoor was about to come for namaz, and then Huzoor would walk past them and wave at them, and they would sing nazms or they would do nare to express their happiness. One day, throughout the tour, the weather was very nice, but on one day towards the end of the tour, it suddenly changed, and there was the most thunderous thunderstorm, perhaps the most heavy rain I've ever seen in my life. And because of this, when it came close to namaz time, Huzoor's security got his car ready, and so that Huzoor would not have to walk in the rain. But when Huzoor came out, to their astonishment, he said he didn't need the car, but he would be walking. And Huzoor lifted his shalwar very slightly and started walking towards the mosque and continued for those 300-400 meters. And even though there was an umbrella, the rain was such that despite the umbrella, Huzoor was completely drenched by the time he reached the mosque, very, very wet. But he went into the mosque and led the prayers. When we returned to London sometime later, I asked Huzoor about that incident once. And I said that, Huzoor, the car was ready, but you still chose to walk. Huzoor said that I saw that there were still 3 or 4 Ahmadis who had stood outside waiting for me. And so if they were waiting for me, how could I then get in my car and ignore them? That was the love that Huzoor was willing to sacrifice himself and his own comfort for the sake of these few Ahmadis who had continued to take to the streets. Anyway, a few weeks later, Huzoor received a letter from a lady who lived in a very small village in Pakistan. Somehow this image of Huzoor walking in the rain had been captured by MTA. That lady said that she's not very well read. She was from a remote part of Pakistan. But she said that I happened to come across this image of Huzoor walking in the rain. And she said that upon seeing that, I knew that the claim of the promised Messiah was true, and I did bet. Just because of that one incident. She said because only a true leader could show such humility for his people.